Hey YouTubers, hey man, this is Mcfast. A little late bringing you another video on what I've done, but I've had my speedrun body done for a few days, and right this moment there's no stickers on it. Everything you're about to see is painted. I've been calling it the Big Nasty because of how bad I screwed the paint job up. But at any rate, it's my first time with an airbrush, first time using paint stencils, and so keep that in mind. Don't be too hard on me, guys. Here she is. I call it Experimental 1. It's a C6 Corvette. Got the C7 Jake skull on it. Right now it's got the vintage Muscle wheels on it. They look pretty good. I had originally ordered these to go on it. Whoops. 6 spokes, but gonna run into a little problem with the tires. I got them because they was Pro Compound. They're pretty narrow, but they're also thin. They said they had super radials, so I thought they had some type of protection in them. They do have a rib that I've not seen in my other tires on the inside, but I'll make a decision on that later. Right now we'll be doing everything on these wheels or my stock car slicks. But I'll bring you in here on the logo. Keep in mind, I was talking with ggjflyguy, and he helped me a bunch trying to understand what was going on with the masking. I used the portrait vinyl and a left behind residue. The weird thing about that is, I'll get a little closer, the paint totally covered up the residue. Right there on the white part of that skull was, I mean, a ton of adhesive left over. And so me and ggjflyguy, we talked about it, and we thought it was coming from the heat gun. I didn't leaving it on there too long because it took me about 2 days to mask the body, 3 days in actuality, and you'll see why here in just a moment. But turns out it seems that this portrait vinyl, when you stick it to something and immediately pull it off, it leaves residue behind. And I wasn't expecting that. What I've had in the past had been from a sign shop where they had printed the graphics and did all that for me for my big race cars. And you could remove it and not have hardly any cleanup at all, even set with a hot gun or a heat gun and everything. So move around here to the front. Now this is all done with Createx Wicked Colors. My airbrush pressure was about 35, and everything had to be backed with white with the exception of the black. Now that neon green splitter you see there, that was done with just plain Createx, and that's their fluorescent green. And then as I zoom in, you might be able to see the detail on the screens. I'm not 100% sure, but I put screen backing, sprayed black on it, and then sprayed silver after that to sort of give it a realistic look. In person it is not so bad, but I know next time that I do that not to use or not to put down so much black. The Chevy emblem, it's painted in. The black around the headlights is painted in. I also tinted them amber. It'll show up better once I get the light buckets in it. But what I did, I took Wicked Yellow and thinned it down with W500, their high performance reducer, and just misted it on there until I got it the tint that I wanted. And when you hold it up to light, it turned out pretty good. And here's the main part of the paint job, right there. Rampant line I'm of Scotch-Irish descent, so always try to embrace the heritage every once in a while. And anyway, that's a rampant line. That's all done with airbrush and stencils. See if I can get in there a little closer without losing. There's mistakes all over, so it's not perfect by any means. A lot of the detail I was trying to airbrush was probably too small, but we'll see how Oracal film does. I'm going to try it next. Moving right on up there, I painted in the red and the Mcfast. The black you see on the windows, the trim, is all painted. I put the 3 black stripes down the center windshield for the windshield bracing that's normally on these cars. And then here on the side, well, the camera kind of creates a reflection, but you could see the black trim there. And then newbie problem right there. And then I just painted the back window black. That's the way it is on the GTLM cars. Also, one word about this Wicked Blue. It sprays on transparent, similar to the red. The red sort of sprays transparent also. And then you got to back it with a color to bring out the depth and the true color of what you want. You can put black behind, whatever you want, and it'll change the outcome. And as you can see in the top, while holding it up to the light, I thought I had pretty good coverage. There's a few weak spots there. It's not that big of a deal. I imagine this body's going to be destroyed fairly quickly. But I wanted to do a test and see what I could do and use it as a learning experience and a practice. So we move on back here. It's got that over-exaggerated high downforce wing that we'll be sectioning out and testing later. Haven't put any of the decals on yet. That is paint. That's not a decal. And I will put decals on there later. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to do LEDs in the tail lights. But there you got it. Not the best in the world, not competing with anybody but myself. Something I learned in the Army is you always give 100%, and then you can't never ask for more regardless of the outcome of the mission. So that's about 7 days worth of work right there. And it just seems so silly for a small car, but that Dragon took up at least 3 of those days spraying it, waiting for the coats to dry in between. And let me know what you think. Comment, rate, and subscribe. This is Mcfast with Mcfastracing, and I am out of here.